Freelance greetings, today we're gonna talk about the FLAM-80 Cremator, and to be honest, it's just fucking amazing. I love it, it's probably one of my new favorite support weapons, and let's just get straight into it. Obviously we have to start with the stats, and if you're looking at the bare damage stats of the Cremator, the only difference between it and standard flamethrower is that one additional damage to the beam of the fire, and the damage of the status effect is still 100 damage per second. But it actually adds up to additional 75 DPS for the Cremator, having 225 DPS. The Cremator has capacity of 500 in the backpack, and since it is belt fed, quote unquote, you don't have to reload it at all. And as always with the fire weapons, it has heavy armor penetration. In comparison to the standard flamethrower, like we already said, the Cremator has more damage and it takes up your backpack slot, and, which we didn't say, it has more range of 25 meters compared to the standard flamethrower, which has range of about 15 meters. Also, since it is a belt fed, quote unquote, you don't have to reload at all, you only have to resupply it every now and then. Even though backpack-fed weapons tend to eat through your ammo pretty quickly, the Cremator actually does not, and it will take quite a while for you to burn out through the whole tank. And if you're taking the resupply, the Cremator will probably last with you until you die and get reinforced at the other end of the map. Even though it is an area denial weapon and help control, you probably would want to aim, because not only the beam applies the new slowdown and confusion effect of the fire, it also deals the full DPS of 225, not the flames that you just set the enemies on. You still will affect the whole crowd, but if you go for the specific target, it will get that full damage. And you probably would want to aim around the weak spot, so you just kill the stuff even quicker than you could before. The maximum armor that the Cremator penetrates is the heavy armor, and it takes a little slower than the other armors, the other armored enemies, because, well, you won't be dealing full damage, neither you, neither the status effect of the fire, so it will take a little longer if you are pouring fire onto that heavy armor. Also, like the belt-fed grenade launcher, you can actually walk with this one, and not like with the maxi gun where you cannot. Overall, the Cremator feels like the flamethrower, but with that additional way of killing the heavies, and well, being quicker with taking down medium and lighter enemies. Which probably sounds to you like the flamethrower is going to be useless now, but no. Flamethrower has more overall ammo, and you still have the backpack slot, so if you want some more protection or mobility, you have that with the standard flamethrower, but you don't have that with the Cremator, which I think is pretty nicely balanced. We're gonna start with the bots, and maybe it is not the best front for it, but basically like with the double freedom shotgun, I was surprised that this kind of weapon can be so good at this front. So, the Cremator easily burns through any type of light or medium enemy on this front, with one exception of being the shielded devastators, because I think that their shields actually block the beam and you're not dealing the whole 225 DPS. Nonetheless, the fire damage is good enough for quick takedown of these enemies. And since it has more damage than the standard flamethrower, going for the heavies actually makes sense. Hulks are easy targets even on the center of mass, but the best target is if you aim at the legs. And the worst riders will of course take a little bit more, as they don't have any medium or light pen spots, but they also die pretty quickly. The tanks, as long as you aim on the heavy armor or on the medium armored parts, they will burn easily and quickly. And the Factory Strider also will die pretty quickly if you go for the tummy, given you can actually approach him and burn him from the undercarriage, which will take about 3 to 4 seconds and not that much of ammo. Overall, if you are in the good range, basically you are set for any situation with this gun, except if you are getting non-stop ragdolled. It is considerable to actually take the flamethrower here, because you can take the shield backpack, which will protect you from the ragdoll. But if you wanna go pure damage, the Cremator will do you amazing on this front. For the two other factions though, the Cremator is just perfect, and first of those two we're gonna talk about the Illuminate, since they got new content. For the standard troops that we already know, the Cremator does perfect job with the Voteless. I mean, Flamethrower was already great at killing them, so now they vaporize even quicker. And the Flash Mob, since you have the more range, you deal the DPS quicker, and they get confused for longer, so they actually change their direction and don't hit you. And well, Flames just work on them very well, and they die quickly. Same as the Overseers, they feel basically like the fodder enemy with the Cremator. With the Flamethrower, it took mediocre time to kill, but with the Cremator it takes a second, maybe even less, if you're pouring the stream straight on them. So they don't feel like threat at all, but maybe with that they can actually shoot at you, so if you are out of range they can kinda do something to you. And same goes for the Harvester. If you are far away they kinda can do something, but as soon as you are up close, they are dead. Since the Flamethrower will just go through their shield, you don't have to care about it, and it has a lot of medium spots of undercarriage, on the hips especially, so you will be dealing the full damage and the Harvester will crumble quickly. The only thing you need to know is how to dodge the blitzes from Horn, which are really easy to dodge. If you played Dark Souls or Elden Ring for literally just 5 minutes, you will know how to dodge them, so these are no problem. For the new sub-faction, the Appropriators, which basically feel like new faction, not sub-faction. The Illuminate without Voteless just feel very different. The new mechs are surprisingly easy to take down with the Cremator. I was really surprised. They are taken down in like 3 seconds, especially the Veradicators, which have max 3 AP3, which is medium armor, and especially, once again, if you aim at their weak spots, at their hips and at their joints and at the pilots. And same story basically for the Gatekeepers. Even though they have a heavy armor, so if you're aiming wherever, you will take a little longer to kill them. But if you're aiming at those weak spots, it is the same story as with the Veradicator. 3 seconds they are burned. You can burn a lot of those new mechs at once with no issue just by having this weapon. Obtruders can be somewhat troublesome to take them down, but as soon as they are nicely within range of your flamethrower, they are just dead. And the only enemy you can't defeat, even though you could, is just the Stingray, because well, it's way too far. And lastly, Terminids, just like the Squids, easy. We already know that the light and medium enemies are just destroyed, I talk about them, but the heavies also are very quickly destroyed within a couple of seconds, maybe not 3 like the mechs on the Appropriators, but max 10 seconds for the heavy armored spots. I think it took me about from 10 to 15 seconds to take down full health Bile Titan with it, so if the Bile Titan is damaged by basically whatever, the takedown will be near instant. The chargers are also easy deal, even if they are charging at you, since you confuse them while pouring the fire, you will just go off course and hit something, and you have free kill, especially if you approach them from the back. There is just nothing on this front that can be a trouble, unless it's out of range, but guess what, it's a melee front, basically nothing is out of range, because well, they have to approach you to even damage you, so there is no trouble with chasing after them. Well, maybe except for Shriekers, but for them you can use basically anything and they will die to anything, they are really weak. They only come in groups. And well, Impaler just dies as always. It is probably the easiest heavy in the game. And now for the equipment advisory section, there isn't much I can advise because of how good this weapon is, though there still are 2 things I can advise. First is of course the inflammable armor passive, because we don't want you to burn yourself down, and well, you can just stand in your own fire. and second one only for bots. Basically any primary for a long range combat, since the flamethrower obviously has a limited range. And that's all I can say about Cremator after a few first days of using it. Like you heard, shit gun, you shouldn't really use it. It's obviously trash, I don't advise it. But what do you think? You can tell me in the comments and I will see you in the next one. See ya, Helldivers.